Welcome, everybody, to the Daniel Batal channel. We have not done live in a while here. I feel like I've got a pile of rust I'm shaking off today. I need to get my live streaming skills up and running. I've got a very special show for you today, and we've got a lot to cover. And I don't want to waste any of your time. I have a guest who is one of the probably the premier YouTube content creators in the hair and beauty space. She's someone I've known for a very long time, since she first started on YouTube. Let me bring her right in. Her name is Gabrielle Suarez Chow, but you know her as Glam Girl Gabi. Gabi, so many G's, I'm falling over myself already. Glam Girl Gabi, great to have you here.
Thank you. It's a tongue twister. I'm not going to hold you to it.
Yeah, triple G. So listen, one of the things that I've been talking to people about a lot lately, and you and I talk about this, we chat, like all of our group of people that we know in our creator space, we all have community and friends. You and I do this where we'll like message each other, Facebook Messenger, like, hey, have you checked this out? Have you seen this creator or what this person's doing? One of the things I talk to a lot of creators about is thinking about the different types of content that exist on YouTube. And I swear, either people get excited about it or get really angry. Like when you talk about shorts or live streams or long form, there are so many opinions and misconceptions. And I'm hoping that the two of us here today will maybe be able to bring some clarity to how you can use different forms of content in a multi-form content strategy to actually grow your channel faster, because your channel is absolutely blowing up. I remember when there was a period of time I had a larger channel than you did. It was a while back. How big is your channel now?
Period of time, actually.
No. How big is your channel now, Gabi?
Oh gosh, I think we're around 480,000.
Oh, that's amazing.
We're nearing 500 now.
Racing right up to 500,000 subscribers. So listen, can you take a quick second and explain to people more effectively than I have the skills to do exactly what it is that you do, what your channel's about, so that people get an idea of who you are? Because we're very different creators.
Yeah, totally. Hey guys, I'm excited to be here. It's full circle experience, but we'll talk about that more later. My name is Gabi. I go by Glam Girl Gabi. Everyone knows me as Glam Girl Gabi on the internet. And I have a channel that's a beauty channel, but I take a little bit of a different spin on it. So I do a lot of generic beauty content. For example, I'll buy every single concealer at the drugstore and I'll test them one after another and give really honest reviews, no filter. Like I say, no filter, no bullshit. So I do a lot of those types of content, but I also focus a lot on the mature woman. So I do a lot of makeovers on women in their 60s, 70s, even 80s. And I'll give women of all stages of life really quick tips and tricks and little things that they can do that will really help them feel really beautiful and also be able to achieve it for themselves from home, right? Without a professional hand. So I do that.
And when did you start this channel, Gabi? When did you actually, do we know the born on date? Is it written on the side of your channel? When was that?
Yeah, I started the channel about 5 years ago. And it's been quite an evolution process, because it started as a makeup channel, and I failed horribly at it for about a year. It took me a whole entire year to get 1,000 subscribers, and I was posting every week. And then I was like, okay, makeup's too competitive, and I didn't have all the gear. You know, makeup, you need a lot of gear because you need to make things look incredible on camera. So you need really good lights, you need really good lenses, you need all the things, and I didn't have the money for that. And so then I went and I did hair, because hair had less competition. Then I started talking about this hair loss that I had. And that video about my hair loss story that you actually helped me title and thumbnail, you helped me conceptualize the whole thing. That video went viral. So then for about 2 years, my entire channel was about hair loss. And then I went back into like hair, and then I started weaving makeup, and it's been a huge journey and a lot of evolution, but it didn't come easy. And I say that because so many people struggle. And they think, well, you guys don't understand. You know, I keep trying. It's not working. Like YouTube hates me. The algorithm hates me.
Yeah.
YouTube doesn't hate you. The algorithm doesn't hate you. You just need to figure out your stride. And a lot of us bigger creators or successful creators, it took us a long time to figure it out too. So if you're struggling, you're not alone, you know, and there can be light at the end of the tunnel if you persevere and learn and change.
I think you nailed it right there, is that idea of really sticking with it and learning to adapt along the way and learning to get better at being the creator that you're going to become, right? We're always trying to become the best version of ourselves. And it definitely took, I know both of us, when you've been working with me since I had like 15,000 subscribers. I used to be like, wow, that's a lot of subscribers. And like, yeah, it's not as much as 500,000 or whatever you have now, but it's amazing how far we've come in a relatively short period of time. I mean, 5-6 years is we've both been kind of at it. I think 2018-ish was when I really, knuckled down and wanted to go full time and leaned into it. But along the way, it's funny. The reason I really wanted to have you here today is two reasons. For those of you who don't know, Gabi and I are going to be presenting together at VidSummit in Dallas this year in September, which is awesome. Yeah, we're very excited. We have known each other for so long. She's one of my very first coaching clients, and we have so much history together that, we've been through the tears, the blood, the sweat, all of it. So to be able to take the stage and share the kind of things that have been successful on our very different channels is really something that I'm excited to do, to show that it doesn't matter your niche. It doesn't matter if you're a guy, if you're a female, it doesn't matter. It's what matters is really trying to figure out what kind of channel you want to build, and then building a content strategy that can effectively reach the kind of people that you'd like to engage in a conversation with. And that's one of the things I talk about a lot, Gabi. I hate the word niche. The word niche, it's like people say, oh, is it niche or niche? I'm like, it's neither. It's conversation. Conversation. What conversation are you having on your channel, and what can people expect every time they come back? Because they don't want to hear 80 different conversations about all kinds of different things. They want to know, this is when I come here, this is the conversation that we're engaging in. And we've seen so many creators do that super effectively with many different types of content. And I think what happens with a lot of creators is they struggle. They think, listen, I make long form content. That's what I do. I put it on my channel, and that's YouTube. But YouTube, if you go into your analytics, actually has content broken down into 6 different types of content. They talk about long form, they talk about shorts, they talk about live streams, they have community tab posts, they have playlists, and they have podcasts, 6 different types, and they list all the different interaction, engagement, and the momentum of each. And I think what happens is people hear all these crazy bits of advice about different types of content, and it drives me crazy when I hear people say things like, oh, don't put shorts on your main channel. Shorts will kill your channel. How many people in the chat, give me a thumbs up if you've heard that before? Shorts will kill your channel. Don't put it on your channel. Thumbs up. I've heard that. You've heard it too, Gabi, right?
Oh, yes. And for a long time, I thought, if I put up shorts, I'm going to destroy everything I've worked for. I mean, I thought that it's almost embarrassing, because I thought that like recently, within the last 8 months,
Yeah. And I think that was something that was prevalent at first. Michelle says the same thing. She's like, yep, definitely. I've heard that one before. That old chestnut, as they say. Yeah, don't put it on your main channel. And I think there was actually a little bit of legitimacy to that when shorts first hit the ground running on YouTube. Because quick history, YouTube was working on shorts. TikTok got banned in India, a massive community of a lot of people who watch shorts, watch short form content. And when TikTok got banned, YouTube kind of had to jump the gun and release probably sooner than they were ready. And they hadn't quite figured out all the sort of recommendation systems and how they were going to interact with different types of viewers. And it was sort of figuring it out as they went. So there was an initial moment where if you published a short, anybody who had notifications turned on would get notified of your short being published, regardless of if they liked watching shorts or not. And that's something that Todd Beaupre and the team over at YouTube spent a lot of time really getting the recommendation system down, so that nowadays, like if I publish shorts to my channel and as a viewer who doesn't watch shorts, I've had comments on my channel going, Daniel, how come you haven't published any content recently? I'm like, holy crap, I have like 3 shorts I publish every single week. I've been putting out a ton of content. Yeah. But all they watch is long form, so they don't, even though they have subscribed, they have notifications turned on, they don't get recommended my shorts based on their behavior. Now, have you used shorts on your channel?
Yeah, so we started implementing, and so I always say we. People are always like, "Why do you refer to your channel as we?" So, can you say? Oh, yeah, there we go. I'm like, can you
learning the buttons?
I have a team here now, right? We've evolved to have a team, and so one of the team members here really suggested that we start a shorts strategy along with other modalities. And we'll talk about that later, but I absolutely do shorts. I do at least 3 shorts a week, often 4 shorts a week, and 1 long form plus a few other things. But when we started implementing it in the back end, we track everything, right? As you should. And we started noticing that I was getting frustrated because my long form videos will get hundreds of thousands of views and my shorts will often get significantly less views. So I'll stick around like 20, 30,000 for shorts. And I really thought, why am I spending so much time making all of these shorts when they're really not leading to anything? I'm not getting AdSense revenue. I'm not getting that many views. Like, what is the point of that? What we started noticing is many different things. So for one, when you release a short, you can connect it to a long form video. So when you release a short, that's kind of I don't want to say it's independently on its own. You don't want it to be like I mean, I don't think it works on my channel when it's just a preview. But if I take some B-roll of a short and I create some valuable content from it and I link it to the original video, we'll get a huge spike in views. And even if that's 20,000 views, which isn't really like a mind-blowing amount of views, it's still 20,000 views that are then linked to long form that are then getting you AdSense revenue. Yeah. So that's one thing that we've noticed with the short strategy. Another thing that we've noticed is when we release a short, the views on the entire channel gets a bump. So we see it in the analytics. The short gets released and then whoop, we get a bump. So all of the other content that's on the channel will then be suggested more. And so all the other content is starting to get more views as well. And then the last thing I want to tell you guys that we've noticed is that when what we've started doing now, and you can see this in your back end, is that we've started building an audience of only shorts viewers. So we have an audience of only shorts viewers, an audience of only long form viewers, and then there's a crossover that watch long and short form. So because of that, we've been able to grow at a massively exponential rate. Whereas before I was averaging maybe 10,000 new subscribers a month, which was still a good amount, I'm now averaging like 25,000. And it's because we're dipping our hands in all of the cookie jars, right? We're bringing people in from all of these different ways.
Yeah. I think people sometimes forget that different people might have the same interests, but they might exist in a different place, right? People might want to learn about hair and beauty, but maybe don't really like watching 40-minute videos. They like watching shorts. They just like watching short form content, but they still could have that same interest. They could be part of your target audience. And I think sometimes creators get confused thinking the goal should be an advertisement to get them over to long form. And if that strategy is something that you've been able to dial in, figure out, and do effectively, I'm all for it if it works. But if you expect that every short should just be a commercial for a long form, imagine if you made long form content and all it said was, hey, go watch my shorts. Go watch all my shorts. I wouldn't watch that video. I'd be like, I'm here. I'm here now. Meet me here watching your long form content. And one of the things I try to tell creators is, listen, you need to meet the audience where they are, not where you'd like them to be. And if some of them watch shorts, if some of them watch long form, if some of them like listening to podcasts, if some of them like watching live streams and being engaged like the chat is right now, meet them where they are and don't be afraid to meet the entire audience and figuring out a strategy that could work to connect with them. Now, before we dive too far into strategy here, our good friend, Darryl Eves, who is the founder and co-owner of VidSummit, was kind enough to say, hey, you guys are speaking at VidSummit this year together. We'd like to give you guys some free tickets to hand out. These tickets are $895 a piece. That's how much it costs to get a VidSummit ticket. It's an amazing event. It is by far my favorite video content creator related event every year. I don't miss it. I'm always there, whether I'm speaking or not. And I love it. And we're going to do this. I've got a handful of tickets. And one of the things that I wanted to make sure with Daryl is that we get some female creators here going to VidSummit, because we need more female creators. I love having Gabi here. I feel like sometimes we get a little male dominated in some sectors of YouTube. So listen, if you are a female content creator, shout me out in the chat. I've got Megan in there. She's going to watch through, and I'm going to have her randomly pick someone. Now, this is in Dallas. It's at the beginning of September. Megan, you can post the dates if you want. I think it's like the 3rd through the... Yeah, Megan, you correct me on that. So it'll be a free ticket. You'll have to get yourself there, and you'll have to find your own lodging. But once you're there, you've got a ticket to attend the entire event, and you'll get the replays afterwards. So if you're a female and you can do this and you're interested, please shout out in the chat. Say, me, I'm a female, I want to do it. Me. And we'll have Megan find you. Now, Gabi, talking about strategy, you sent me an image that I was cracking up. I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever. You sent me this. Can you explain to the people what this is?
Yeah.
Show me.
Yeah. So I don't play around, guys. Okay. No. I'm the most academic makeup artist you'll ever meet in your life. Okay. I grew up in a very academic household. I have a science degree. I love school. Okay. So I run my channel just like I used to run my business. I had a salon. I ran my business, and I closed my salon when YouTube started making more money than the salon. And now I run my channel like a business. And so with that, we have a lot of organizational tools. This is just one of many. And this is my content strategy. So if you guys are able to see it, you can see when we release long form, when we release shorts, when we go live, and when we release community posts. And all of these things together create this funnel of views and new subscribers. So a few little tips that I can give you guys is that when you release a long form, you don't want to then immediately release a short, because we've noticed through trial and error that it will dip the impressions of the long form video. So you want to release your long form, and then we call it letting it breathe. You want to just let it breathe, give it a minute, let it do its thing. We typically wait 48 hours after we release a long form video to then release a short. Sometimes I'll try to organize it if I'm able to that week, depending on what's going on. I'll try to organize it so that my short is very applicable to my long form, but it still stands alone. And then I'll link that week's long form to the short to funnel the views back over to the long form that was just released. So that's one thing. And then we do short, typically another short. We might let it breathe a little bit. Then we might go live. We'll let the live stream breathe so that the live stream can build up views as well. We'll release another short. And something else that we've been doing that we've noticed has been very successful is we'll look at our back catalog and see what did well, but a while ago, that's then flatlined. So there's a video on my channel that got, I think it was like 2.5 or 3 million views. It was crazy. It went like crazy viral, and then it flatlined. So obviously it's an enticing video for a broad audience. So what we'll do is we'll find those really star videos that have flatlined, and we'll put them in a community post, and we don't overcomplicate it. We don't write a huge paragraph and say, hey guys, if you have greasy hair and you're trying to find really cool ways to style it, check out this video that I did. And then I link it to that video. And what we've noticed by doing that is then we start this hurricane of people will see the community post, they'll watch the video, that will tell YouTube that this video is interesting, and it will start the impressions up again. So that's you genius. Can kind of, you can dig old videos out from the dead by doing them in community posts, and make sure to put them in a schedule like this, because there's so much going on, right? You're scripting, you're filming, you're producing, you're editing, and you're trying to make shorts, and you kind of you forget all this stuff, right? So you just make your schedule, have it all aligned. And then on the day, for me, Monday is planning day, I'll pre-schedule all of those things in advance so that when I'm filming and editing, I'm not like, oh shoot, I forgot the community post. I forgot this, I forgot that. So you can make it all kind of work together like that.
That's great. I want to go down this rabbit hole some more. Megan, my friend, who do we have in the chat? Pick somebody. You've been paying attention. Let's give away our first VidSummit ticket. Who do you like to give it to? Who answered the quickest? Who made sense? It's all in your hands.
All right. There was no way to choose, so I just went with who was first, and that is Michelle Lawrence. So I'm going to put my email in the chat. You can go ahead and give me an email, and I will give all your details.
All right, Michelle, that's awesome. Congratulations on that. So, Michelle, drop your email in there. Make sure you contact Megan at danielbatal.com, and she will confirm with you, get your tickets set up, get you hooked up with Daryl, and we'll be there. We're looking forward to seeing you there. So,
you
listen,
better
Gabi.
come give us a hug, Michelle.
There
I'm
you
waiting
go.
for it.
So one of the things that I really like what you were just saying here is you're effectively doing things, you're testing out strategy where you said, hey, listen, if I've got this great video and it kind of flatlined, I use another piece of content, community tab post, which I think sometimes people don't realize.
Yes.
Community tab posts are content. They send out notifications, they show up in people's feeds. When they're scrolling around on YouTube, they'll see community tab posts just like you would see anything else surfaced on places like the homepage of YouTube, if you tend to engage with those things. So they can be really effective to reach people in a different way than just a video, right? Than just putting a video and saying, watch this video. Because it's a lot, there's a reason Twitter is so successful, and Instagram is so successful, and Facebook is so successful, which is based on really posting things, a little bit of text, maybe some imagery, and that's what Community Tab I think does really well. So to see you leveraging over that way is great, and if it works and you have the data that shows that's a strategy, the thing that I really want people to hear when you said that is you came up with a strategy. We tried finding videos that had done really well, kind of flatlined, then went over to the community tab and said, hey, if you're someone who's dealing with whatever that might be, right? Greasy hair, whatever the thing is, check out this video and put it back in front of them. But you started with not just watch my video. You started with compelling elements, speaking to your audience. Hey, are you dealing with this issue? I do similar things on Community Tab too, where I'll talk about, sometimes I'll push towards another video, but one of the things I found is when I'm in the data of YouTube, you can actually see which of the types of content that you're using is actually connecting with the viewer. It's not like you have to guess. You can actually go do a very granular dive. Let me see if I can pull something up quickly for you. You can do a granular dive into your content, and let me just share the screen really quickly. If you go into your YouTube analytics, and you're on the analytics side, you can actually go over to the content tab, and you can start seeing things like, here we talk about it, videos, shorts, right? Breaking these all up, live streams. I haven't live streamed in a minute, as you can see here, but there's still previous live streams I've built in a way that they still drive views. Posts, you can click on posts and you can see where those posts fall, but you can also go down and you can see things like which type of posts are doing really well. Image posts, I'm doing polls, quizzes. You can go through, I haven't done any text video. I've only done one other one. I shared one of Andrew's, but I can look and see, for me, if you try a bunch of different types, YouTube will actually give you the data to say which of these posts are actually connecting, which are getting a good amount of likes. A simple one, just saying Happy Independence Day to all my fellow American creators, was just a great way to engage my audience, because I do have a pretty good, following here in the US. So reminding them on a holiday that I'm thinking about them and not trying to say, hey, watch my videos. Just hope you're having a great day for my American friends, is the kind of things that can really engage with people. And you can actually study inside of your analytics which of your community posts gain you subscribers. That's one that always shocks people, that you can actually gain subscribers from community posts.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Well, Tube Spanner in the house. Pure 24-karat gold from the two of the best creators in the space right now. Take notes for and learn from these two rock stars. Thank you very much, Danielle. We really appreciate the super chat. Tube Spanner is coming out swinging. I'm not going to give away too many secrets, but you're going to be hearing me talk about Tube Spanner a lot more frequently in the not too distant future, because they've got a rebranding and relaunch that I've been helping them work on, and it's crazy. It's going to be crazy. It's going to blow your mind. But Gabi, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about is, like, my channel right now, the majority of where I've been leaning into has been shorts. Mm-hmm. And it's funny, everyone says to me, like, why don't waste your time on shorts. They kill your channel. You can't make any money. And you just said right now, like, that has not been your experience. Mm-mm. True. The opposite. For me, I think that sometimes people get fixated on that thing like, well, look at the ad revenue that you're earning from shorts. Why waste your time? And if you only look at that metric in isolation, you're right. Shorts do not make a lot of AdSense revenue. But Gabi, is AdSense revenue the thing that you rely on to pay your bills?
This is the thing. No, there's so many. YouTube, when you are building a YouTube business, it's a multi-revenue stream business. So there are so many different ways to make money, right? AdSense revenue is just one part of the pie. Another part of the pie is sponsorships. Another part of the pie is affiliate linking. Another part of the pie is channel memberships. Right? Having a channel memberships is a really great way to have people that really love and support you, spend a little money monthly to support you. In my channel memberships group, I don't even do that much for them. I prioritize their comments. So every morning I go and I look at every single channel member comment. I'll take half an hour to an hour to respond to every single one. I give them some custom emojis that are my face with all these like different expressions that they can use in their comments. We do badges. I don't even do channel like members only live streams for them because that's just a lot of work. I don't know if it's worth it. I don't do members only videos. Sometimes if a video is ready before the upload schedule, like say I'm ready on Friday, my upload schedule is Sunday, I'll release it early to them. Only those little things, and they pay $5 a month, and there's a lot of them in there. That's another revenue stream. You know, that was something I resisted for a long time. I thought it'd be a lot of work, but it actually isn't, because there are people that just want to support you, you know? But you know, AdSense revenue is just one pot of the pie. But what really like sounded the alarm in my head when you were talking about that is I think sometimes as creators, we look at things with too much of a magnifying glass and we don't widen our vision. And I think that is a big mistake, because when you are doing shorts, when you're doing community posts, when you're doing live streams, what you're doing is you're building connection, and connection, trust, and authenticity. And you'll see why this is important later. That's the foundation for everything. That's everything. You're making friends with people on the other side of the lens. And so friendships come from calling your friends, seeing how they're doing, checking in on them. You know, it's a relationship building thing. And shorts is one way to build a stronger relationship. And that's what you guys need to focus on when you're trying to become very successful financial creators. Think less about the money and more about the relationship with the audience, and the money comes from the relationship.
Yeah, that is so well said. That is so well said. I mean, I want everybody to make sure that they absorbed all of that, because I think that is something that it's hard to articulate, because we get so focused when we're struggling creators. That we start thinking, we just stare at like the CTR and our thumbnail and the views and the subscribers, and we don't step back and go, wait, I'm building something here that's going to take more than just, you know, one single metric. How many subscribers do you have? How many views did you get? You have to really think long-term about what you're building and how you can build that with an effective content strategy. Now, listen, we're at the halfway mark here, and I want to take this halfway mark brought to you by Canon Cameras. I want to take this opportunity to give away yet another ticket. Now, listen, I've got a handful of these. We're going to give away one more ticket to another female creator, because we're trying to get as many female creators out there that are underrepresented out to VidSummit, be able to get their learn on so they can start crushing the space just like Gabi has. So listen, anyone out there, female creator who can make it to VidSummit, you got to get your way there, find your own hotel. But this is an $895 ticket for the 3-day event. It's wonderful. It's awesome. Gabi and I go all the time. We're going to be speaking this year. Just shout out in the chat. Give me a me. If you're someone who is a female creator, can be there for the beginning of September. Megan has posted the dates and can show up in Dallas and hang out with us at VidSummit. And just throw that in the chat. We'll get our next ticket given away. Thanks to Daryl, Eves, and our friends over at VidSummit. Now, listen, Gabi, I think that one of the things that was interesting about your journey is you spoke last year at VidSummit, and you were up on stage with the StreamYard team, yes, who is a live streaming team, which was interesting because what's something that you hadn't really done on your channel at that point?
Oh, guys, let me tell you the story. So Daniel goes, Gabi, they need a creator to speak at this panel. I think that you should do it. I'm going to put your name in. And I'm like, oh, okay. And it's for StreamYard. I had never gone live ever. Actually, I was like adamantly against going live. I felt like it put me on the spot, made me super uncomfortable. I felt so weird about it. Okay. So then I just tell Daniel, I'm like, I got to take this opportunity. And then I had a mental breakdown in the hotel. I called, I'm like, I was throwing up. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm going on a panel about live streaming and I've never gone live. I don't know what I'm doing. And he had to talk me off the ledge, a couple of times, him and Megan. Oh my God, bless their heart. So I was on a panel for StreamYard and I had never gone live ever.
Well, wait, we got to set the stage. For anybody who might be following any of the newsworthy current events, trials that may be in the news, or watch Netflix, some of you may be familiar with the great Emily D. Baker, who is the former assistant district attorney, I think, in LA, has an amazing law channel, has a whole community of law nerds. When she goes live, she'll have 50, 100,000 people there in her live streams. She drives millions of views, makes tons of money just from going live. And you were on stage with her.
Emily and I shared a stage, okay? I'm sure that you guys can understand why I was vomiting and calling Daniel, like having major imposter syndrome.
But you know what was interesting? The reason why I thought you would have been great for that is, I to this day, and I think that this story evolves, I've always said content is content is content. If you know all the same rules apply, figure out the conversation you want to be in, figure out who your target audience is, decide how best you think you can reach those people, and find what effectively works in your strategy. Regardless of length, I don't think that people care if you have something important to say, whether that's 2 sentences long or a paragraph or a short story or a live reading, if whatever that is, it all does come down to that connection point. And you not only did fantastic on that stage and brought a ton of value, but you started doing something that you hadn't done before afterwards, which was start going live on your channel. Can you talk to me, for someone who, another one, like, don't go live, I don't think it'll work for my channel, or I'm too scared to do it. How had live streaming, using another different form of content, how has that changed your ability to connect with the very people you're trying to connect with?
Oh, you guys. So live streaming is a game changer. I resisted it. If you're resisting it, I get it. It's very scary. And even the setup of it can be very intimidating at first. It's actually very easy once you figure it out. But trying to think, how do I connect my camera to I'm not techie, and maybe you're not techie either. And it's very intimidating and overwhelming. And then you're live and it's like, now what? Like, what if it's awkward? What do I do? Like, you know what I'm saying? This is the thing. Going live is the best way to show people who you really are, right? Unscripted, unedited, and being able to interact and engage with them, pull up their comments, talk to them by name, right? Like Rahul, thank you. I love you too. I can say your name. I can say, hey, Megan, oh, I love your heart emoji. Like, I can talk to the people like they're real people, because they are real people. And all of a sudden you become really connected with them, and they feel very connected to you. And doing it builds up this trust in you, this authenticity in you, this bond with your audience that's completely different than pre-recorded content. Live streaming now, despite resisting it for 4 years, it's my favorite thing to do now. I absolutely love going live. My lives get some of them get over 100,000 views. And it's just, we're just hanging out. We're talking about the things we're interested in. I'm answering audience questions. I'm pulling them up. I'm saying their names. That's a big thing for me. I always say their name. I'll say hey, Michelle, I see Michelle's here. Michelle won a ticket. I'll say, thanks for joining, Michelle. What's your question? Tell me, did you try that serum? We were talking about it last week. You become best friends with your audience. If you haven't done it, really, really, really encourage you to do it. It will change everything about your channel.
Now, I love the way you approach that too, because I've always said, listen, there are advantages and disadvantages to every content type. And I love that we have multiple content types here on YouTube. There are some things that a long form content piece of edited video, That's typically what we call VODs, videos on demand. That's sort of a leftover term. But those VODs, those typical long form edited videos, do one thing very specifically, but they don't necessarily interact in the moment the way a live stream can, right? You're absolutely right. You don't get that feeling like I really get to communicate. And while we're here, I can ask a question and I can potentially get an answer for that question right while I'm in a live stream talking to the person I want to talk to, or hear an anecdote or get access to that person in a way that maybe I couldn't, because as much as we all try to keep up with the comments section, and I'm a friggin' lunatic about it. I try to answer every comment. It is hard. Some get missed, some get filtered out because of a swear word or something. So it's not always perfect. And live streams do something that I think that you can't do in any other form. It's and now we can live stream vertically to the Shorts feed, which is another new option. It's like constantly evolving the way that we can reach people. And this is funny when we talk about different forms of content. And I know some people will say like, well, I hate shorts and I don't like this and I only want to do long form, or I do like long form, or I only want to live stream. Because I mean, let's face it, Emily D. Baker built her channel on live streams and continues to build her channel just on live streams. So with all of these different types, one might be more effective for you, but don't be afraid of approaching the others to help round out your reach. Right? Yeah. Because someone who doesn't watch a lot of live streams may not know you exist. So to build an edited content or a short that talks about some things that it will engage them, they may discover you through shorts or through a live stream or through VODs, and then go on to watch the other content because they become invested in you as a creator.
That's the thing. And you guys, like, I think what I was worried about is I was overthinking it so much. You don't want to go into a live stream unprepared. Okay. You don't want to that's scary, but you don't have to make it so ridiculously, stupidly perfect either. Like last week I did a live stream that did really well, where it was a pajama party. So I had my pajamas on. I posted on my community board, we're having a pajama party. You better wear your pajamas and you better not be wearing makeup. Okay. This is like, right. And then I was in my pajamas. I had no makeup on. I'm like, you guys, we are going to talk about skincare products that are a game changer for me right now. These are all these things that I've gotten in PR this year. I'm going to tell you what they are. I'm going to tell you what works, what doesn't work. And I brought in a guest who's a skincare creator, and we were literally in our pajamas. And I'm like, what are you drinking? Where are you watching from? Everyone's chatting and we're pulling up products. And, I thought about what products would be interesting. What products have I discovered that are cool? I put them on my desk. I made a few notes. So I had a few notes, right? So that I didn't get confused. And then you go live and you just have a pajama party with your friends, just like you would at home with your girlfriends, and that's the cool thing. You get a lot of views. I make a ton of AdSense revenue, and I also make a lot of affiliate commission on those live streams because there's so much connection. I make sure that every product I'm going to talk about, I have my affiliate link ready, almost like a QVC experience where, they're like, oh, that's cool. They go check the description box right away. They buy it. So my live streams, I really make a lot of money off of them, but I'm not spending 25 hours editing. It's a great way to add more content, add more to the conversation, connect with the audience, but in a way that's so much easier than long form. Like long form is a lot of work.
Well, it's all, I just say it's all work. All of it is work. Yeah. But you're right. There's some of this stuff that you can do that allows you, and I love that crazy chart you have with all these different things, because some of them are going to take more investment of time to build certain types of content. And instead of having these voids on your channel where you're not communicating and having a conversation with your target audience because you're busy focusing on editing that next masterpiece that's going to take a week between scripting it, filming it, editing it, getting it back, building your thumbnail, getting it posted, getting everything built around it. It can take time. So to have these different content types happening, it means you're active. You're active on the platform. And when people engage, I think people forget that YouTube looks at the number one reason that they're figuring out how to recommend videos is they're looking at viewer behavior, right? Yeah. So viewer behavior isn't, did they watch your video? I mean, that's part of it. Did they click? Did they watch? How long did they watch? What did they go on to watch next? Are they going to your channel? Are they clicking on any playlists? Are they going to your community tab? Are they reading your community tab post? And are they liking and leaving comments down below? Are they showing up at your live streams and commenting in the chat like you people are now? Are they going on to sit on the short shelf or wherever they might search, and they're actually watching your full short when it gets published and maybe even liking and leaving a comment on that short? All of these are traffic signals that YouTube is learning more about the type of audience member that it should be suggesting your content to in the future. I need to take a quick second here. Megan, what do we got? Oh, Megan's got a new one. Now, she's got a little jar that she just hands me. This is the business card receipts, I guess, apparently, but it's not. What did you put, a bunch of names in here for me, Megan? Okay, I'm going to pick one out. I'm not going to look. I'm just going to swivel around from the, see who's going to be going to VidSummit. Let's see. I need like a drum roll here.
Nice.
Oh, it's stuck. Hold on a second. All right, and our winner is, it is Amped to Glamp. There it says right down, if you can read that. Amped to Glamp. Amped to Glamp, you have a ticket to go to VidSummit with us. You're going to be there in September down in Dallas. Bring your sunscreen. It's going to be hot. It's going to be hot this year. It's a little earlier. This is great. Amped to Glamp. Congratulations. And while we're here, we are at the 45-minute mark. Let's do it again. Anyone, male, female, I do not care. If you are available and want to go to VidSummit this year in September down in Dallas, and you can make it, again, ticket, this is an $895 ticket. You provide your own transportation, you grab your own hotel, and Daryl Eves and the people at VidSummit will give you the ticket. Anyone right now, shout it out, me, yes, thumbs up, whatever, give me the ticket, you say it, and Megan will be in the chat to figure out who our next winner is going to be. I love doing this. I love that we can give away tickets on the channel. It's the best thing in the world.
This is so fun. Yeah.
So listen, when we're talking about these different types of ways to reach people, and trying to figure out a way to do it, do you feel that there is only sort of one way? Does everyone need to make a chart like you have, and you got to go short in the community tab post and then is that the only way to do things?
No, there's never only one way to do anything in any career. You know, your path is your way. And all I can really recommend is not to close your mind, because for a long time I was like, hell's no short. I don't have time for that. I'm focused on my long form. You know, I didn't do shorts. I didn't spend time on community posts. I didn't spend time on live streaming. You know, the biggest advice I can give you guys is you don't have to screenshot my chart and follow my chart. Like, it might not even work for you, because my audience is different than your audience. My niche, I don't even say that word. That's like a dirty word.
Conversation.
My conversation is different than your conversation. All I'm saying is that you want to connect, and whatever way you can connect is the way you should connect. And then test, connect, test, evaluate, change to make it better, connect, test, evaluate, change, right? You want to keep making it better. Just see what's working, see what's not. It's almost more importantly to look at what's not working. Try to think about why it's not working. It's often a connection with the audience issue. I'm just telling you, it's almost always a connection with the audience issue. Pivot and then test again, right? Be methodical about it, because that really is the way to see results.
You know, that's one of the things that I get all the time. And I hate to be like the overbearing jerk, because I want to see so many creators succeed. Like, you know, there was a time when, you know, Gabi would message me and she's like, that's it. If I don't see results in the next month, I quit. We're done with YouTube. You know, tear rolling down her eye. And I'm like, you're not quitting. You're not quitting. Keep going. We're going to get this done. You know, it's just that it can be, and I'm sure a lot of you in the chat and a lot of you who are watching in the replay have been in that place where you're like, it's just so frustrating when I'm not seeing the results that I want to see. And it does take an investment of time. But I will tell you this, that I think what happens sometimes is exactly what Gabi is saying, like get out there, try something, analyze the data, and adjust. Yeah. Make an adjustment if it's not working. I can't tell you how many people said to me, I tried shorts on my channel and they ruined my channel. They destroyed my views and my long form, and I took them all down. Or I stopped making shorts. And then I'll go over to their channel and I'll say, like, what was your content strategy? And they're like, what do you mean? I was making shorts. And I'll go over, and all they were doing was like chopping up long form content. Yeah. It was like leftovers. Just chop it up, throw it together, put some, I don't want to spend any time on it. I'm just going to it's a short. It's only a short in the sense that it was vertical video and under 60 seconds long, but it's so unfocused and repurposed and didn't make sense, and had a whole bunch of like things that the creator wanted, like, follow me, go watch my long form content. And it was all these asks. And it didn't do the thing that we know that every piece of content, regardless of length, should do, and that's serve the needs of the target audience you're trying to reach. And that's the thing that drives me crazy, Gabby, is when I see people lose their minds because they don't consider it's not the format that isn't working.
Yeah.
It's how you're using it that isn't working. You need to try a different way. If it isn't working, try something different. I get this all the time. I won't use shorts because they destroy them. I can't make any money on them.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because my channel recently, I have some long form and I have some live streams, but I've been doing a majority of shorts because I really felt when I was teaching people how to use DaVinci Resolve as an editing software to edit YouTube videos, I really found my groove. I looked at it and I said, there's a million people out there that are making DaVinci Resolve tutorials and been doing it much better than I don't even know how to use the software yet. How do I find my space? And I spent a lot of time thinking about it. And I said, I think there's an open lane for this very complicated software that has a great free version, but it's very complicated. I don't see a lot of people just going, let me dumb it way down. Like, I'm a noob. I'm gonna show how to use this software like I would as a noob. And I'm gonna not try to overcomplicate it. And I'm gonna go for simple tips to get people moving in the right direction. And I started a DaVinci Resolve for Noobs short series that was like a couple of tips every week, just showing you how to do something that you may not know how to do and answering some questions from comments section. People say, Daniel, how do I do that? Hey, let me show you how. And I would show them how to do it. That series alone, I think, is driven, I can't remember now, it's millions of views.
That's so
but
good.
AdSense revenue is like, I think it's like $350 total on millions of views. Like, there's no money in it. But people go, then why would you keep doing it? Two reasons. It allows me to connect with the very people that I want to reach. It really serves the needs. It engages, it grows the channel. And there's a very interesting thing. When people say there's no money in it, they only think AdSense.
Yep.
But I can tell you right now that I got a call from the head of the marketing department from DaVinci Resolve who said, we're really sorry we haven't reached out to you sooner.
Yeah.
We ask people when they come and sign up for the software. We have forms like we talk to our community like, hey, how'd you find out about the software? And the number one answer they're giving us is Daniel Battelle.
Yeah.
So who cares about the AdSense? Because right now I'm in negotiations for a 6-figure contract with DaVinci Resolve. So tell me again how there's no money in shorts on YouTube. It's all about figuring out how you're going to use the content to do all the things you want. Serve the community, figure out ways to drive revenue, work with sponsors. People say that sponsors don't want to touch shorts. Really? I beg to differ, especially when you're really driving brand awareness to something and building a community at the same time.
Yeah, it's pretty, I have so much to say.
Go ahead, talk to us.
I'm gonna bounce off of what you said, and you're so right. Even now, when we do, like when I do my sponsored long form, right? What we've started doing, because shorts are starting to do really well for me on Instagram, they're starting to do well on YouTube now that we've built up the library and we have a dedicated shorts audience now. Now, we charge per minute for the long form. So I can weave this product into the long form as long as I love the product and it makes sense in the content for X amount of dollars. And then for an extra 4,000, I'll make a 30-second short. You can't tell me that making $4,000 for 30 seconds is not a lot of money, right?
And how many of the sponsors that you work with are taking you up on that?
All of them. It's a no-brainer for them because they're like, a little more money for way more reach. Sure.
But did you hear what Gabi just said? Is she's packaging the content together for reach. She's packaging different forms in a multi-form content strategy and integrating things that can effectively work with a sponsor to bring more awareness to their brand, but yet still serve the very people she's trying to reach who might have a need for a product or need tips on how to solve something that they might be dealing with their own maybe skincare or hair care. This is how you do it. Stop sitting in one lane, putting your blinders on and thinking, this is the only way to grow on YouTube. When you start stepping back, like Gabi said right at the beginning, step back, get a wider, broader view of what it is you can do when you start encapsulating and bringing in a larger content strategy and really thinking about it, not throwaway shorts, not just junk. Really start, like I've just said, my entire process, every short I make is an original short. I wrestle sometimes trying to get all the information on the tip I need under 60 seconds and making it perfect. I'm timing every word. I spend more time building shorts that are really smooth and make sense, and thinking about every motion on screen that's happening in those 60 seconds, because it's really important for the way I build and the people I'm trying to reach. And the way you build, look at what you've done. $4,000 for a short? People.
Well, that's the thing, right? Because you need to know how to, this is why you need to step back and build a bigger library, build a bigger connection, build a bigger base. Because when you step back, you can see the picture bigger.
Was that me? She froze?
The algorithm hates me. Like this complainy kind of, and I love you guys. I'm not saying that you're complainers, but I hear it so much, right? You have to step back and look, maybe that short only got 1,000 views, but you're building the library, you're building the connection. And then later on, for me, it's been 5 years and I've worked my butt off. It's not like I, kind of half-ass everything and I really think about every piece of content I put out. And now it's like, okay, I'm going to tell you why you want to put in an extra 3,000 or 4,000 for this short, because it's going to massively increase your impressions by this much. And I know that from the data because I've done it a million times for free, and it's going to, you're also going to be able to repurpose that. I'll add you as a collaborator on Instagram. Now that's on your feed. Then you can use that also in TikTok. You can grab, this piece of content that's, for us, when we think about it, creating a 30-second short isn't a crazy amount of work, but for the brand and for the reach and for the sales potential, it actually is totally worth that, because they'll make that money really quick. Because if it converts to sales, which it will, and that because you have the data to prove that, you'll be able to kind of start adding things onto packages. That's why you really need to think about being a creator in a bigger way as a business, not as like, I'm going to make $1,000 on AdSense revenue. You guys, if you are trying to make $1,000 on AdSense revenue, you have lost the point of this business. That is pennies when you start getting into the business and scaling and building and adding different, revenue streams. That's just one little pot that fluctuates. If you're focusing on the pot that fluctuates, you're going to be in trouble, because you're going to have good months, you're going to have bad months. There's got to be another method here to this madness.
Yeah, you know what? I've always said this. What's funny is people might look at you, Gabi, and go like, "Oh, well, she's got a big channel." Gabi and I both have channels that are under 500,000 subscribers, which sounds like a lot. Like I think I'm at 3 something. I don't even know. I don't pay attention anymore. 3 something. You're at 4 something.
Yeah.
We aren't 15 million subscriber channels.
Yeah.
I've always said about Gabi, she says it herself, she punches way above her weight class when it comes to the kind of money she can demand, is the kind of money that much bigger creators are getting or wishing they could get. I mean, Gabi is no joke. Gabi is no joke. Well, I think we're at the point where you can finally tell your husband to quit his job and come work for you. Well, that was been the running joke forever. He's like, when you hit that certain point, I'll quit.
Yeah.
And what's great is because Gabi really focuses on these very things, that who the target audience is, what their pain points are, what are the things that keep them up at night, what worries them, what makes them laugh, what makes them feel okay about themselves, what makes them not feel okay about themselves. And she really spends a lot of time understanding the different facets of that audience, because there are different components. Gabi, when I watched her presentation at VidSummit last year, she literally breaks down her audience by segments. She was actually saying like, well, the older ones, I might have a Susan, and that's my, and she named the different segments so that she can understand that this content might serve even subcategories of her target audience. Genius building. And if you aren't following Gabi, just to watch how content could be made, make sure you do subscribe to her channel just to watch what goes on over there. It's amazing. Now, listen, we do have another ticket to give away, and I know we're getting close on time. So listen, anyone in the chat, male, female, if you would like to go to VidSummit this year, an $895 ticket, go down, hang out, get to see Mr. Beast, get to see Daryl Leaves, get to see Nick Nimmin, get to see Beauty and the Beast here. I think you're Beauty. Unfortunately, I'm the Beast. And there's so many great presenters this year. There's so much information. It is our favorite event. Shout out in the chat. Say, I'd like to go. If you're available, you have to provide your own transportation and grab a hotel. But if you want to go get a $895 ticket for free, courtesy of Daryl Leaves and VidSummit, shout out in the chat. Megan will be taking notes in there, and we'll give away another ticket.
I got to pop in here because you didn't have me draw the last one.
Well, okay, let's pick our winner for the last one. Who did you pick?
I did a wheel this time, and it is Office Cooking.
Office Cooking. Congratulations, Yay! Office Cooking. You won the previous ticket. We still have one up for grabs. So please, if you want to go, please shout out in the chat. So Office Cooking, make sure you contact Megan at danieldetal.com. She'll put her email in the chat. Reach out. We'll make sure we get you all, any of the winners today, we'll get you hooked up and get you a ticket to go hang out with us down at VidSummit Dallas, which is going to be wonderful. Gabi, if there was something, a final note that you could say to people to get them to really consider using more than one form of content or finding a way to get out of their comfort zone, is there anything that you could lay on them as a plea to their inner struggling creator that might be sitting on the fence saying, nope, it would never work on my channel, not on my channel? What can you say to these people?
I was that creator. I would try it. I feel like the magic, the growth, everything, there's that quotation that everything happens just outside of your comfort zone. And that is so true. Just try it, you guys. Just try to do something a little different and see where the results take you, because the data doesn't lie, right? Just give it a try and see. And I really I think you'll be very surprised with what you discover.
And I want to iterate something Gabi said earlier. If you try and it fails, don't jump to the conclusion that whatever that is, live streams don't work on my channel, shorts don't work on my channel. Don't jump to that conclusion. The conclusion you should jump to, just like when you're making videos, any kind of videos that don't connect, something I'm doing isn't connecting. I need to adjust and try something a little different. Don't give up on the format. Maybe just start to tweak your approach and your strategy and say, what is really important? How can I encapsulate the value proposition of my channel? I'll tell you what the value proposition of my channel, I know it by heart. I help creators learn how to make better video content, put it onto YouTube, and grow YouTube channels around that content, right? We're about audience building. Editing videos, put them onto YouTube, build an audience. And every time I make a video, I ask myself, does this video help people learn how to edit videos, put them onto YouTube, or maybe grow a YouTube channel? If it's not doing those things, then I don't make that video. And if I see that something isn't working, I go, what was it that didn't connect? Where did I veer off too far? Where did I lose the audience? And I was trying to stay in the conversation, but I messed up. So think about how you can pivot your strategy to get the content to work. Don't just accept the content's not working. That's an easy out. It's too much of an easy out. I want to see all of you succeed out there. Now, Megan, do we have another winner? We have that fourth ticket. I see the wheel spinning over there. I can see it spinning as we speak. Shout it out, Megan.
After we announce the last winner, can we pop? There was a super chat with a question. And I would love to talk to this person, because thank you so much for the super chat. First of all, that really helps us as creators continue creating this content.
100%. Who do you got, Megan?
All right, we have Azrion Encrypted.
Azrion Encrypted. Very excited for you, my friend. You will be going to VidSummit. We'll make sure you get you hooked up quickly. One of the things I will say to all the winners is there's a couple of hotels down there. Hotels do book up kind of quickly, Airbnbs, all those kind of things. So once you get your tickets, definitely get on the horn and start looking in the area in Dallas to make sure that you can get accommodated. This event is still a bit away, beginning of September, but it's it sells out, and so do the accommodations in the area. It's that crazy of an event that everybody wants to be there. Now, let me pull that up. First of all, Office Cooking, this is one of our winners today. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat, who says, my last short totally tanked. I wish there was some rhyme or reason to figure out the short algorithm. Some of mine get 20,000 views and others tank. Well, I think the question here is, why, what is it you're doing in that particular short? Like, what is the thing? Let me just see. Is this John, Office Cooking? I'm looking, it looks like John. I'm gonna see if I can find the channel. Office Cooking. I'm doing my best to find this channel. Let me go to the filters I'll look by channel. I'm going.
One thing that I want to say is when I read comments like these, like how to figure out the short algorithm, change the way you're seeing to make my audience connect with it more. If the video didn't do well, it's likely because the audience didn't find it interesting enough to watch for the whole duration, didn't click on it, right? Or they didn't engage with it. So that the algorithm is just the audience behavior. So that's why I always say, don't even worry about the algorithm, worry about the audience, because if the audience likes it, the algorithm follows the audience. It's not the other way around, right? So something went wrong with what connected and didn't connect with your audience, and you have to think about why. And in my shorts, likely it's that first 5 or like not even 2 seconds. The first 2 to 3 seconds in a short is super important, and so is pacing.
Yeah, and I think it's funny because, you know, there was a time when I was at VidSummit a couple of years ago, and I was on a panel with Devin Stone from Legal Eagle and Nas Daily. We were talking about shorts. Nas Daily being one of the biggest shorts creators on the planet, especially on YouTube. And it was funny, like we were at a VidSummit convention where Mr. Beast had just been on stage talking about the importance of thumbnails. I sat down next to Nas Daily and he says, you know, I don't even know what you mean by thumbnails. I don't use thumbnails. I make shorts specifically, and I try to get all my views from the short shelf. I don't even care about thumbnails. So there is a sort of perspective that you have to have when you're building content. This clearly looks like John's been like making sure he gets specific. He's probably uploading from mobile and choosing the frame, which is cool. And I think it's about this. But one of the things you want to think about, it's like, why does ice cream sandwich milkshake madness beat what's your favorite food? Now, it could be just how long the video's been up. Ramen cheese hack. A lot of times it's the topic and that you're talking about and what connects with people. If more people can relate to, and I like this idea, this is Office Cooking, and the most popular ones, which were cracking me up, it's hot. He's making all this food in his office. Bangers and mash in my office. Making a barbecued pizza bagel in my office. Kind of funny. Like, he did all these things. Then there's a random one. The solar eclipse made my sandwich disappear. I think that you want to find what works and leverage that. One of the things that I would say to anybody making short form content, you need to think about it the same way you do long form content. When someone is watching your video, take the word shorts right out of it. When someone is watching your video, live stream, short, long form, whatever, why would they want to watch that entire video? And more importantly, what's going to make them excited and salivate about thinking about the next one that might come across their feed from you? What's going to make them get excited and engaged and want to see more content from you? If you can nail that, then you can start building effective strategy, because it should be the same thing regardless of content length. You want that viewer to go, I love this. I can't wait to see more. I want to consume more content from this creator in this format because I love it. So you have to really focus on what's working, what the needs of the viewer are. Because, I mean, if you're just making food in your office all day long and you start figuring out that people go, look at the data. Maybe after 3, they go, that was, they might say, that was cute, but I've seen it. What are you making now? I get it. And maybe it loses its luster because you hammered on the same thing without pivoting away and saying, what are the needs of the viewer? Who is the target audience? People trying to make lunch in their office? Maybe. You figure out who they are and then start figuring out why they're interested in the content that is connecting and try to replicate that.
Something that's worked really well for me too is creating in my shorts. I had a short that got 27.5 million views.
Wow.
And the way that I did it is it was just a short where I was getting a haircut and I said, this is what happens when you try. No, this one, it was something like, I got the best haircut of my life. And then this happened, ... And I timed those words on the screen center so you could see it right away. And I'm in my stylist chair and she's like about to cut my hair. And so I timed it so that when I was choosing my frame, I chose that image so that when someone's scrolling, they're like, what happened? So I recreated that multiple times. I decided to get my hair colored, but then this happened. And like blah, 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 blah. And then this happened. Every single one of them has gotten over 2 million views.
Wow.
Because
you found something that worked and you came back to the bucket.
It needs to like stop the scroll. There's so much, right? There's so much like, you need to be the person to be like, wait, what happened? And like you have to tell a story. Even if you're not verbally telling a story, you are with the captions. I made bagels in my office and then this happened. What happened? I bet you would quadruple your views just by writing that on the screen.
Yeah, right. It's just approach. It's thinking about for that content type, especially shorts when you have milliseconds, right? People are just going 100 miles an hour scrolling through milliseconds to grab them. What's going to stop them in their tracks, get them to connect, and then get them to remember you in a way that the next time that you come up on their feed, whatever that is, short shelf or on, it could be in browse, could be in search, could be anywhere, that they go, oh, I remember how this creator made me feel, or I remember the experience of watching their content. And they have a good vibe about that, and they'll sit and watch because of something else that you've presented them with previously. And I think a lot of creators forget about that. We're trying to create an experience inside of our conversations. There are people who are going to remember you for something that you did, whether it's Gabi helping you find, the right kind of makeup or hairstyle if you happen to be an over 40-year-old woman, or if it's me talking to you about, hey, listen, if DaVinci Resolve seems really complicated and hard and it just gets confusing, let me simplify it for you. And people remember those things about each of us, even though we might be in completely different conversations. It's all about effectively understanding who you're trying to reach, connecting with those people, regardless of content type and length, and doing it consistently so that you can actually grow your channel more effectively. Yeah,
consistency is king. That's another thing. Yeah. You have got to be consistent. And I just went off on the whole algorithm. Don't say the algorithm, blah, blah, blah. But I'm telling you, the algorithm, okay, the buzzword everyone loves.
Yeah, that one algorithm.
It does not like inconsistency. Yeah. So if you say, I'm going to start doing shorts and I'm going to do 3 shorts a week, do 3 shorts a week. Don't do 3 shorts a week, 1 short the next week, no shorts the next week, 3 shorts, and then you're going to do 5 shorts. If you're going to do a shorts, if you're going to make a schedule, make sure you have the time to repeatedly keep up with that schedule for months, because it's true. The algorithm doesn't like fluctuation like that. So you want to be consistent. That's one thing that I've noticed, that it is actually algorithmic and not audience behavior.
Yeah, I would agree with you on there. I have to thank the legendary Yobi for the $5 super chat. You're one of the most important people in the space. Could be talking about either one of us. Thank you for what you do, sir. I think that one might be me. I appreciate that. And I appreciate the super chat. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Like, just making sure that you stay consistent. You have to remember that there are, there's so much content uploaded every single day onto YouTube. They actually, put out a stat, a year or 2 back, where they were like, if you sat and watched every video that was uploaded in a single day, back to back to back, it would take you over 83 years just to watch what's uploaded in a single day. So imagine if you stop publishing for a week or 2 weeks and you leave gaps and you're inconsistent, how many other similar channels might get right into that open lane who are publishing consistently and serve the needs of that target audience ahead of you. That's why that whole consistent thing, YouTube is always trying to keep people, get them watching and keep them watching. If it isn't your channel, they'll definitely find another one that will serve that viewer's needs. So being consistent, that's one of the best tips I think I've heard all day, is making sure you keep your foot on the gas pedal so that you're always providing fuel for the audience and the conversation that you're trying to further and grow your brand, your channel, your audience, and your community.
Yeah, and it's hard. You guys, like sometimes it's like, well, how do I do all that? And I have kids and I have work and it is not for everyone. This is not a business for everyone. It is hard. There are weeks where I call some of my team members. I'm like, I'm going to have a mental breakdown. Like I can't do this anymore. And
I feel that.
yeah, and that's why planning tools are so important. You need to think, how many steps does it take me to get from conceptualizing the concept to releasing the video? Yeah. And how can I delegate those steps so I don't have to do all of them? Right. Or if I have to do all of them, how can I do them more efficiently? And schedule your time. Because when you're flying by the seat of your pants, when you're trying to integrate multi-modality content creation, it's very stressful. And that's why so many people burn out, because creatives sometimes I don't want to stereotype, but oftentimes creatives aren't also like organizational type A type people. But if you don't have them both, it's a recipe for burnout. It's a recipe for burnout.
Yeah, we're also not good at moderation. I found a lot of us, we're like addicts. Like, we just want it. What more? We don't know how to go. Take a break, take a breather. Time out here. Hey, thank you, Vasu, for the $20 super chat. Thank you, Daniel. Your channel, especially around DaVinci Resolve for noobs, is great. I appreciate that so much. And all these super chats and super thanks that get along the way, they really help me allow to make that kind of content. As we said, AdSense money is pennies for sure. So whenever you guys throw a super chat or help me out, it really does help me continue to make the kind of content that I make every single day on the channel. So thank you very much. Gabi, I have to say thank you so much for being here today. Wealth of knowledge. Can't wait to take the VidSummit stage with you this year. I think it's going to be amazing.
I'm so excited. Me too. Guys, I can't wait. If you come, we'd love to see you in our conversation that day. It'd be so great to see everyone in person.
Yeah, now listen, everyone who won tickets today, congratulations. Make sure you reach out to Megan. But if you didn't win a ticket and you'd like to go to VidSummit, vidsummit.com. I'll put a link down in the description of this live stream afterwards. I tell you, it is the single most important event. If there was one convention that you could pick where you get to hang out with other creators, listen to great presentations, actually, like, we wander into each other. We just wander around the streets and of the area. We hang out, have lunch. We talk to people all day long. We meet other creators. We meet people that I always go there trying to, catch up with friends like that I don't get to see in person, like Gabi and Nick Nimmin and Roberto Blake and Dara Leaves. But then I also get to meet new creators that I haven't ever met before and really get down the rabbit hole. People like Nate from Nate Black has his own channel, all the channel makers. I meet a lot of the guys who are out there using DaVinci Resolve. It's just a great way to start building out the community and learning from other people who do the same thing that you do, but in a completely different conversation and in a completely different way. There's always more to learn.
I'm telling you guys, if you go, you will leave buzzing. I've gone twice, and every time I'm on the plane, I'm like, I need to do this. And then I'm like, you get the inspiration is insane. You will get so inspired. You'll start to see things differently. It really pivots your perspective, and it's so worth going. It is just there's so much value.
Yeah, where else are you going to sit in a room, with a few hundred people listening to Mr. Beast talk about, exactly how he's been growing his channel and answering questions from the audience from a bunch of other creators. It's not a fan event. It's a creator event. There's a reason it's kind of pricey. It's a creator event. It's designed for creators who want to learn more about how to grow channels, make more money, drive more revenue, build their brands, and get advice from other community members who have been doing that effectively already.
Yeah.
All right, listen, thank you again, Gabi. Thank you to everybody who's been here today. Really appreciate it. Hope you're having a great weekend. I love it. We get to get this done and continue with our Sunday. But enjoy the rest of your weekend. Crush it out there on YouTube. And we'll catch up with all of you soon. Peace. You guys have a great day.
Thank you, guys.